Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Packer Universe podcast, aka the Pup List. We welcome back our friends from Detroit, Phil and Dave of the Lion and the Cub experience. You know, they kind of did a podcast, but now they're more the experience. So, you can find them on YouTube. Here, I'll show that. Go over to YouTube. Check out the Lion and the Cub.
When we don't get kicked off for
copyrighted
videos there, they don't like that. So,
but Dave, Phil, welcome. The Lion and the Cub experience is with us once again. We appreciate it. Like 5 weeks ago, we had you on before the first matchup. We invited you guys on when the Lions came to town to Green Bay. It only seems like yesterday went by pretty quick.
I know.
Now the Packers are going back into the Lions' Den to Detroit for the Motown showdown, as it were. So, thank you guys for joining us. How are you feeling right now?
10 in a row? Come on.
How are we feeling, Phil? We're feeling like great.
Yeah, so let's see. So going into that game, that nice water bowl, the Packers versus the Lions. It rained really heavily that game, if I remember correctly.
Great memory I got.
That's where we got the nice infamous picture of Aaron Glenn with the glasses on, and he can't see anything. I mean,
glasses.
I think, if I take the Kool-Aid out of my system, I'm very concerned about this game. I think this is the game for the division. I think winner of this probably goes on to win the division, and it's just
hot take.
I think it's just I try to say this in the most unbiased way. It's a very unfortunate that the time that the Lions decide to have a franchise year, the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers somehow find ways to win, and the fact that the Lions are 11-1 and haven't wrapped up their division, I think, is a pretty astonishing testament to just how good these three teams are. And the future for the Bears, as much as I hate to say that, I think is going to look better. I think Caleb Williams will be good. I think obviously Sam Darnold has been put in a good position and they get bailed out a lot, but that's how the Vikings have won the past 3 years. And then always the thorn.
Good. I caught the end of the Vikings game. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
I caught the end of the Vikings game. Who did they play?
They played the Cardinals.
Cardinals, right. He took them down the field. Oh, he looked good.
Yeah.
And again, they have some pretty good receivers. I mean, he is Sam Darnold. He is who we thought he was.
Yeah.
Okay?
I think the Vikings are a real mid. Any team that gets them first round are just they're licking their chops, just like Daniel Jones and the Giants were a few years back. So I don't believe in it. The Packers are peaking at the right time. The Lions, Phil, Dave, I think they need to lose one. And what a better time than in 48 hours to do it. You got to get it out of your system. You're not running 18 straight. It's not going to happen.
We lost one already. Hello.
You got to get one out of your system here. So
there's nothing wrong with losing. It does. Good coaching.
Tay was talking about it, and the injuries are mounting up. I'm going to talk about it here in a minute. But Tay, what else do you have for these boys leading into that?
What is
that? I mean, we can safely say the Chicago Bears are just out of the division now. We don't have to worry about that. And you guys are now officially coach killers. So congratulations.
Hey!
Lions, thank you. They broke the Phoenix Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals a few years ago when they were doing good, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Who else did they broke? They broke
the Bears, and they broke the who was the other? There was one other team. I can't remember.
Phil, you're the memory of this group.
Yeah, well, again, we're working at peak brain capacity here. So if I want to say maybe it was the Tennessee Titans.
I don't know.
I can't remember. But,
it doesn't matter. It's what you've done for me lately. And you guys have slaughtered the Bears. Well, you didn't really slaughter the Bears, so let's talk about that. That end of the game
both teams had their hands full.
Yeah, the Bears almost had you on Thanksgiving, but that last drive, I think you can thank the coaching staff and just the crap show that the Bears are, that you guys didn't go into overtime. Jaw was on the floor ineptitude of the Bears. So congratulations for that. I mean, after that debacle, the Bears needed to make a choice, and they chose correctly, but they got enough to worry about. But the Bears we don't have to worry about the Bears anymore. You guys took care of that. I agree with Ren. The Vikings are pretty much a ghost of what they claim to be on paper. We'll see what happens.
Fraud.
I think you guys, though, with the injuries mounting, are you guys looking over your shoulder? It's how. I guess I want to know how you're feeling.
You got the Turkey Day monkey off your back. Phil, I was going to say, I don't know what kind of moon you had. Finally, the Turkey Day onslaught streak ends. You don't know you had your waxing or waning gibbous, but let's talk about it. You got Levi out, Reeder, you got Josh, Malcolm Rodriguez. Already Hutch is gone.
Yep,
Hutch is walking. Hutch is walking.
Anzalone,
Hutch is walking.
Maven.
When is him walking the other day?
When is this thing just gonna fall down to earth? Because the D is banged up.
So I think in terms of the injuries, I was reading that I read a really funny thing about how we had 5 starters from the beginning of the year was out, and then the 4 people that covered those 5 are also out, and then there was 3 other players that would be playing that are also out. I think this game, if we're speaking about this game on Thursday, which we are.
We are.
This is going to be a battle of the Packers offensive line versus Detroit's Lions offensive line. Also, the Lions, Taylor Decker is not going to be playing on Thursday, announced today.
Nope.
So that puts you guys in an advantage on almost both sides of the fields now, where the Lions offense could still hard carry. I think to go back to Thanksgiving real quick, the Lions were pumping really well. They thought that it was going to be easy. They let up on the gas, and that's what led the team back into it. Obviously, injuries throughout the game didn't help that as well from the defensive side of things. If you give the guy enough time to sit back there, anyone can make a play in the NFL. That's a starting quarterback. I think Sam Darnold's a great example of that. But going back to this Thursday's game, we have the top 1 and 2 of yards per game. We have a Josh Jacobs is on my fantasy team, as much as that hurts, but his ability to, you go from the kind of the thing that really needed Jordan Love to be able to take a deep breath for you guys was not having to be in control of the game and being able to make more decisions like I feel like Jared Goff does with throwing stuff away instead of forcing stuff. You've seen him going from leading the NFL in interceptions to taking a step back in that. And that's because of the play of Josh Jacobs currently, who is the X factor for you guys, especially obviously this game's at home, but as the season continues, he's been able to show that he can run in these kind of weather situations. And so I know I'm a Lions fan right now, and I'm really gassing up the Packers to always say that I'm going to defend the Lions, but it would be wrong of me to not say that, the Lions are struggling, especially from the defensive side of things. I'll never apologize for a win. 11-1 is great. Like I said, I feel like 11-1 in any year, you pretty much wrapped up your division, hopefully. But that's why these end of the season division games are super interesting that they've done in the NFC North. We kind of started early in the season, and now you're going to finish the season with it. And these next 5 games for the Lions is really going to dictate. Basically, I saw if the Lions end up losing this game, the chances of them getting the division goes down to 36%. Making the playoffs is still at a 99%, but the fact that the Lions could finish, with 12-13-2, 14-3, and not, let alone be the 1 seed, but also not the winner of the division and be a wild card, would be pretty crazy. So
pretty crazy.
Yeah, and you're staring down the barrel, man, because this Packer team, Jordan. Obviously, last time they played, he was kind of a shell of himself, just coming off the injury. Yeah, the last 2 weeks, no turnovers. That's massive. He's starting to be able to move in and out of the pocket, play under center a lot more. Josh is great. You can play him anywhere. He's just a gamer, dude. It was great free agent signing. He's available all the time. Availability. That's my Mike McCarthy, if you never heard it. But it's the best ability.
One of his favorite.
But this Packer team is much better version than you saw last time when the Lions won 24-14 in Lambeau. And again, mentioning up front, the Lion injury on defense is crazy. We know the Lions they're They're going to do things on offense. Amon-Ra is great. The Sonic and Knuckles are, best probably 1-2 punch in the league. The O-line is one of the best in the league. Obviously, missing the left tackle is never a good thing. Green Bay knows how to play in Detroit, and then Mike McCarthyism. But
Detroit,
how you feeling? I mean, do you just go, yeah, who cares if we lose to Green Bay? Let's just get that one out of our system, like I was mentioned up front, and we'll worry about the rest of the schedule because, again, we can't roll off 18 straight to the Super Bowl and win this darn thing. I'm starting to see some cracks in what this 11-1, right? 11-1 Lions team currently is.
Well,
how are we feeling? We feeling confident, Aaron Glenn? We feeling confident in Jared Goff? Jared Goff does not play well when they only rush 4. They only rush 4.
They're doing it with
Jared Goff doesn't like it.
They're doing it with tape and wires and Band-Aids. They seem to get it done. So I don't know. The cornerbacks are getting healthy this week. We still got some really great players on defense. Brian Branch, he likes to bring the wood, as they say. He's a violent player, and that's what they want, is guys that hit like that. So
yeah, I think that's probably the strong point of our team is our safety duo. Some might say is the best. I mean, Kirby Joseph leads the NFL in interceptions at the safety position.
Tied.
Sure, tied.
One of my favorite detergents.
Maybe a alphabetical thing, So
tied with Professor X over here.
Not too
McKinney.
sure.
Don't forget about
Xavier McKinney. Yeah, A B C D E F G H
I don't know all the nicknames.
J before M. So in the standings, 1A, 1B. But agreed. But I think that's probably the only standout part. I really like the practice squad pickups. Can they make a difference in this game? Who knows? But I'd rather have more bodies than no bodies. And they're former Pro Bowl players, so they can play. Obviously, they're maybe at a different point of their career. But
I mean, Quan Alexander, Jamal Adams,
Williams,
Jamal Adams, not a bad name.
Adams.
I mean, but at this point, this point, I might as well go to what's the city, Dad? Practice facility. Where's the practice facility?
Allen Park.
I might as well go to Allen Park and sit outside and sign up because that's all they need at this point is bodies. I won't even take a minimum. I'll just sacrifice.
We've had calls reaching out to us. Sources have said to us, hey, you guys want to.
I mean, again, it all comes down to D-line. If the D-line shows up for the Lions, it's going to be hard to beat a team like that, especially in a team where I think the Packers will rely heavy on that. So
I think the 12th man is going to be big.
Well, that helps too. Yeah, I mean, I think
it's at home.
I think if the Lions can somehow get home field advantage for the playoffs, that's going to be a really hard task for anybody to come through and beat the Lions because as somebody that's hasn't been to a game recently, but talk to people that go to games, I mean, it's I don't know. Maybe we're just all full of the Kool-Aid and we're just regardless. I'm enjoying this. Regardless what happens, I'm having fun. So I don't want anybody to ever say that we're trying to embarrass teams because nobody for the past 60 years felt bad for us getting our ass.
Sorry, by too much. Okay?
No, we didn't feel bad. We felt a little bit bad just because is that team ever going to be good, kind of thing. But
no argument here.
Tay, do you remember last time the Packers played in Detroit?
In Detroit?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I'm the one. I'm the one of our duo that doesn't remember things. So, Dave, I'm right there with you. This side of the screen here
from '95, but I can't tell you anything about what happened 2 weeks ago. No.
Last year, you're talking about Ren, right?
Thanksgiving.
That's correct. It was we were breaking bread on Thanksgiving
because we,
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I don't think the Green Bay Packers give two shits about playing in Detroit. So
okay, all right. Well, we'll see, but I do think the crowd will be fired up, and it makes some noise. That makes some noise.
Well, I mean, this is a big game.
Shaking them and all that stuff.
This is a big game for you guys, and I think you guys somewhat seem like you're on the ropes here a little bit with what could happen and what it's possible. And the Packers are definitely a different team than we saw 5 weeks ago. I think they have their stuff together a little bit better. We don't have as many injuries as you guys do. We have a couple big ones, but we seem to be pushing through those. but you guys are mounting, and you kind of listed off some of your strong points, on the team, and yeah, we know about the injuries as the weakness, but I mean, Dave, Phil, like, let's just make it in a fun way. Like, if you were to defect, to out of Detroit, and you come to Green Bay and you sit down with Matt LaFleur, like, what would you tell him? Like, what are some key weaknesses here that the Packers could use to exploit? Is it the tight ends, or is it just rushing, the Jacobs thing, or what?
Oh man, so it's just first things first. You just find Kindle Vildor on the field and you just throw to that guy the whole day. I think the secondary is probably the biggest part because right now you have, depending on whether Carlton Davis is 100%.
He's going to be back.
But whether he's 100% or not is a great question.
96.5%.
And then after that, you have Terrion Arnold out there who, he's going to get a PI call on him every time because he's a rookie. That's something we saw a lot. So I would.
He's good though, dude.
He's doing much better, Phil.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot better, but he's still a rookie. He's gonna feel the pressure. This is a huge. If
there are no rookies now, no rookies.
Okay, well, he has an R next to his name when anyone talks about him. Until that's gone,
he's a Republican.
Okay. Okay. Next question. And then, but really, I think you expose the secondary. You wear out the interior line. I think the edges is obviously your strong point, especially with Josh Pascal being gone. Obviously, Aiden Hutchin is still in the top 10 in quarterback pressures, hasn't played since week 7. And no DJ Reader, I think I just saw as well, possibly. So like,
no Reader. Not gonna happen.
So I think it's unfortunate that we got back-to-back Thursday games. I would have liked a little bit of a mini bye after the last Thursday game, which we'll get after this game.
We got that too.
Yeah, I get that. Hey, it's a double dipper, snoozle caboozle for both our teams. But obviously the Lions being at the place that they are, it would have been nice to have maybe a 10-day rest versus just a normal 7-day. But again, I'm at a point with the Lions that it's prove me wrong. They just keep winning until somebody really proves them differently. It's hard to not believe that they're just going to keep winning games. So
yeah. I mean, you're in a good spot with that. I mean, that's true. I think the Lions could have some of that little magic right now. It's like next man up. It works. Like Dan's got that team like that right now. It can work for you guys. So you have some injuries now, but it could be. We dealt with that last year. We felt like we were injury prone last year, but somehow we just worked our way out of that. The depth of the roster came through for us. So it could come through for you guys. I think you have a great head coach that can motivate them to do that. And of course they're going to get up for this game because this is huge. Like you said, I totally agree with you. This is the one of the biggest matchups to decide the NFC North, and it comes down to Thursday night, and that's good TV. That's good entertainment right there.
TV. I mean,
it's finally a pretty decent Thursday night game. So
yes.
It's at least outside of Thanksgiving, but yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, were any of the Thanksgiving Day games good other than the Bears kind of making a comeback? I mean, the Packers did what they're supposed to do, kick Miami's ass in the cold.
Yeah.
And,
we were together for the game, and it was like, at halftime we ate, family tradition. Hurry up. You got 10 minutes. Well, we wanted to catch Shabuzi. That was the real thing that I was very excited about.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I
could see you being a big fan.
Guy. Sorry, never heard of him.
No, me neither.
Like, this guy with these fat dreadlocks sings
first
like
time
this?
too.
I was like, whoa, that's not what I was expecting.
Phil's got a Shabuzi poster on his bedroom door, okay?
I wouldn't doubt it.
And, we sat on the couch chatting with the game on. And
do you think Eminem in the box was a Shabuzi boy?
I don't know. Did they show him he was in a box? We must have missed that.
I just assume he's there all the time.
It's Aiden. We saw Aiden with the turkey on his head. And his sister.
Eminem was there, yeah.
Did Marshall have a turkey on his head?
No. Oh, no.
He did not, no.
Okay.
He was very, very serious in it.
He's always very serious.
Yeah,
it was like he's about ready to go off. Hey, it's Eminem.
Yeah. Hey, is everybody in Detroit or Michigan Eminem fans? Is everybody a fan? Right?
I think he kind of like.
Your boy,
I think
right?
he would. I think he would move the needle in terms of like Detroit famous, like with the Aretha and like the Motown vibes, and then Eminem kind of brought in stuff like that.
Kid Rock.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, he's got a restaurant.
What's his name?
He's not polarizing or anything.
Jack White.
Oh, yeah, Jack White. I mean, that's probably
yeah.
But I mean, I guess from like a global scale, at that a lot of people. But I mean, I guess we're not getting any younger.
Jack
I don't know.
White's done great with his. Speaking of Motown, Jack's been great about bringing some of that stuff back on his record label. So, love the Motown stuff. Love it.
Yeah, they just created an actual museum that's attached to the original house. So it's like a bigger exhibit now and stuff like that. It used to just be the house, but they've added on to the back of it and created a more bigger space. You can still tour the house. It's a really cool experience if you ever get out here. So
this is the Motown Music Podcast, and everybody's thanks for joining.
It's the Mo in the town. Thanks for everybody.
Yeah. Well, let's not digress, but Tay's point was, hey, this defense just plays. Obviously, you brought in 3 practice squad guys this week. One, basically, free agent Jamal Adams.
Off the street.
You're just taking guys from here, there, and everywhere. And Aaron Glenn's just like, we just play a ferocious defense. That's all they need to know. It'll work.
Go ahead, somebody. Inbounds
do you really think it's plug and play with Aaron Glenn's defense? That's just that's the Lions brand. Like
I don't know.
We can insert these P squad guys, and it's going to work out.
I would expect a high scoring game.
Yeah.
I would.
You guys?
I mean, I think
not going with the under.
No, not going with the under.
I never bet. I am never an under guy. Trust me. I do not root for no points. If you watch football and go, don't score, you're watching the wrong sport. But that's just a personal belief. I will say that I think. How do I say this? If guys fit the scheme, it's the NFL. They're professionals. It should be plug and play. Whether they know the plays or not is another question. But scheme-wise, these guys are their job is to be able to play that scheme, vice versa, or whatever. So I don't think they went and picked, like Kyle Van Noy is a guy that my dad and I talk a lot about because the Lions drafted him. He was never part of their scheme. And then he left and went and won a bunch of Super Bowls and comeback player of the year. And I think another good example is like James Houston. Came in 6 games, had 7 tackles, breaks his leg, doesn't fit Aaron Glenn's scheme, is now being picked up by the Browns, and that's another opportunity for him. So, I think, again, it depends on their age and stuff like that. I know we didn't pick up any young studs or anything like that, but the ability to fit into a offense or a defense, I think, is a lot easier to plug and play versus an offense. So,
very good.
Aaron seems to think it's all about attitude. They don't need to know the plays. I read the comment today. That's it. Kyle Van Noy, I remember the red contact lenses. He wanted to be something. I don't know.
Oh, no. Kyle Van Noy, right. That's the guy the Lions signed as a free agent. I'll get my hand in the right place. Didn't
he wear the red contacts?
Yes, but that was a different Van Noy. Remember that guy, Phil? They signed from Tennessee. He played that. Was that his name? Kyle Van Noy? Was that?
I thought Kyle. Now you got me.
Okay. That's
Kyle Van Noy used to play for the Lions. That's all I remember.
But Kyle Van Noy, he's still playing. He
plays for the Ravens right now.
He's the linebacker that's played for like 30 teams and won 45 Super Bowls that we drafted, and he couldn't get on the field. But you're thinking, who was the Van Noy that played for the Lions? Okay.
I mean, it's Kyle was drafted by us.
Yeah,
in the 2014.
Kyle Van Noy's?
Maybe.
No.
No.
Tay, we all talk too much. What do you have to say over there at Lambeau? The trees still are fully leaved over there at Lambeau. What do you got over there?
It's forever spring here in Lambeau, but No, I think looking at the stats and watching that game the last time we played, there was only 1 sack, and I think that was on the Packers sacked the Lions, and that was like a split sack. So it was like 2 guys got to him. I think that's probably a good difference maker this Thursday. I think if the Packers can disrupt Goff, it's a great chance to stop that I'm on Saint Brown. I'm on
Easy
St.
for you to
Brown
say.
from getting the ball. You know, Laporta's been absent. He's on my fantasy team, Phil, and he
Yeah,
is
mine
big,
too.
2 weeks.
Mine
dud.
too.
Well, he was hurt. He got hurt. Was it a shoulder?
Yeah, but
he's
like he
hurting
was
my-
playing through it for us. So
Everybody hurt.
So I don't know, like their passing game, yeah, it can hurt you. Obviously, but I'm fearful of that dynamic duo back in the backfield mostly. But I think the factor that's going to change this game is turnovers, sacks, forcing mistakes, that sort of thing. That's going to come. What it's going to come down to.
for sure.
Our defensive line has got to get to Goff. It's just one of these, elusive things this year. It's never happened. And if Goff can sit there untouched, it's going to be an issue, I think, all game.
He does throw the ball to the right people when he is not pressured. He just hits
He's
guys.
like Mr. Perfect this year.
Yeah,
he's-
he is. But you know what?
he's
The
Drew
last
Brees. We talked about it last time. He just
Yeah.
takes what the defense gives him, and it works almost on point every time. Obviously, Amon-Ra and him, are just that connectability is amazing, especially on those, third down plays when they need a conversion. I mean, it's incredible. But the one thing he does, kind of mentioning it up front a little bit earlier, is he does struggle with only 4-man pressure fronts, which Jeff Hafley does most of the time. And he's
Wants
dropping
to, yeah.
coverage where we're looking for Goff to make mistakes. So we'll see, what Ben Johnson has dialed up for that, because, that's where you can take advantage of potentially some Goff mistakes. Goff plays inside of himself and makes good decisions. He generally wins football games. But when he starts to just push the ball a little bit, suddenly we have a Thanksgiving 2023 on our hands.
But the thing is, they've got the running game.
They do have that.
If he does not, if there's nowhere to throw the ball, they'll just start running it. It's pretty, and they just have good running backs.
and they'll just run it to Penny's side. Like
yeah,
they'll just
is an amazing.
as much as Decker being
Fine.
out, they can just still, and they'll pull him. They'll let him try to throw the ball. I mean, that was the craziest stuff, that Thanksgiving game, to start the game with trying to have Penny throw a pass. I don't even think there's anybody down the field. I think they just wanted to show that this guy can't be tackled. I think, let me ask you guys this. If you had to pick one player on either side of the ball, but let's stick with the offense, who's going to be the big offensive X factor for the Packers on Thursday night? Who do you think really makes the difference for you guys? That's kind of going to maybe have a big game or kind of expose the Lions defense.
I'll go first. I mean,
Yeah.
for the Packers, it's Jordan. I mean, obviously, based on the last game, versus this game, we know how big that pick six was. It was awful. And Kirby got him. Jordan had no business ever throwing that football.
Oh,
never
man,
had
yeah.
done.
I forgot about that one. Oh, yeah, that was
so mad about that. And that turned the tide. You knew the Lions coming out of the half with the ball. You did that. Like, you can't do that kind of crap. He's been much better since. I know that Tucker Kraft has some beef this week, a little bulletin board material with Kirby. Kirby's taking some of his boys out in the league. So that, I think if I pick 1A is Jordan, and let me tell you, Tucker Kraft, that check down stuff with him and Jordan, he wants to run through Kirby's face, and if he gets the opportunity, he's going to run through Kirby's face. I'm going to tell you that right now. Tucker is an up and comer, man. He's going to be one of the better top 5 tight ends in the NFL for some time.
Yeah, I agree. I'll echo Ren there with Tucker Kraft. I mean, our wide receivers are decent, but Romeo Doubs is probably not going to play. He's still concussed. He's practicing today, but I just don't feel like that's going to happen. Watson can shine from time to time, but he's just not reliable enough for me. And so those wide receivers are fine, but it's going to come down to Jordan Love throwing to the tight ends, primarily Kraft, in either emergency situations or just dialed up plays. I love. Well, we have Jaden Reed too. I mean, that guy's dynamic.
Jaden Reed's your 1C, the receiving ability, the running ability, and then obviously your 1D. We know Phil likes himself some Josh Jacobs. Maybe you can get some nice fantasy points come Thursday night. I'm sure he'll be starting for you.
He will not be starting for me this week. I cannot do that.
And to regress just a little bit, Kyle Vandenbosch.
Okay.
Kyle Vandenbosch is the guy with contacts. 2012 was his last year.
Vandenbosch. Yep. Wrong guy.
Yep. Kyle Vandenbosch. But yes. Okay.
We appreciate that, Dave. Thank you for the research. I see you're
that's it.
working hard outside of Ford Field as well. That's great.
Yep. I've got
you and
lab
Tay
training
are
out here in
doing
the parking
yeoman's
lot.
work, man.
Thank you, Tay, for the applause. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Well, you guys pick an offensive player or defensive player that's really going to stand out this week and solidify the win for the Lions.
Bill?
You want me to go?
I know who I'm going to pick.
You go first.
Ready.
I'm ready, but you go first.
Lean the Dream McNeil.
Let's go.
Lean the Dream.
Lean the Dream.
There it is.
That's my 54.
Listen, Aleem in that interior has been fantastic, guys. You don't have Reader to go with him, but
yeah, he's
those snacks.
Man, imagine what that D line would look like with Aiden, Big Z on the other side
blocking.
in that trade, and then DJ Reader and Aleem in the middle. Aleem's been my guy. My dad's favorite number is 54 from the Chris Spielman era. Aleem is my 54. And so I think the difference that he can make, again, to try to explode and disrupt this run offense for you guys that has just been like a well-oiled machine the past 5 to 6 weeks. I'm going to go a little different direction, though. I'm going to go with a Tim Patrick.
Oh, you go Tim Patty.
The Breeds fella.
Yeah. So I think what really is going to come down to this is a lot of more possession receptions is really going to be able to keep the Lions offensive progressing and moving the ball down the field. As much as we talk about Sonics and Knuckles, and as much as we talk about the ARSBs, the JMOs, the Laportas, I think we saw on Thursday the ability of when Tim Patrick can get space and use his size, he can be a complete game wrecker in terms of who else can you defend now at this point. And so I think that obviously the eyes are on the big five, which is again, JMO, Laporta, Sonic and Knuckles, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. And when you can have a consistent, and we just saw today that the Broncos released Josh Reynolds. Maybe there's a reunion in the future for them back in it. I think about the big three of what happened in the NFC Championship game, possible redemption tour for Josh Reynolds. That's Goff's right-hand man. And that's really what I think progressed Jared Goff into being the quarterback that he was bringing in Reynolds to build that confidence. And then we've kind of built on that. But yeah, I think Tim Patrick, we could see maybe having a pretty impactful day. So
wow, Tim Patrick, the 6'5" retread from Denver.
Yeah. Hey, what can I say? I like big guys. All right, what can I say? I like my receivers big. Calvin Johnson obviously was a treat. His fingers might be messed up. Roy Williams, the jersey that I'm on. I like big possessive. DK Metcalf's another guy that I think is just a hell of an athlete. But yeah, it's just something about. I mean, at some point, someone else has to get open, and I just think maybe Tim Patrick has that kind of game for the Lions today. To maybe
I'm more of a Jay Reed, Donald Driver kind of guy. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, no, no worries. I think maybe this is a game where Tim Patrick earns his Lions logo, as some say, maybe pinstripes, but I'd call it the Lions logo. Maybe this is when he officially can take the black tape off the helmet and. It solidifies himself in the offense. So
get him those chestnuts on the helmet. Right?
Yeah, Buckeye leaves, but sure. Whatever you look at.
We know it's something weird you guys got going on being in Michigan.
They should do that. They should put like Lion
stickers on helmets. I like the stickers on helmets in college.
Yeah,
I think it's
not allowed. Is that something? The No Fun League says no stickers.
Yeah.
Well, no, because we got to put WCF on all our helmets.
Yeah,
so
we play forward, but still, the no sticker league. Okay.
I'll let me talk to Goodell. I'll let you know. All right.
Hey, buddy, you do that.
Hey, Ren, when I was looking at the Lions roster, I forgot about Zadarius Smith. Like, what do you guys? How do you guys like our?
He's playing
Smith
well
seconds?
there.
Did he play for you guys too? He's played for everybody.
This is his third. He's played for everyone but the Bears in the NFC North, right?
Bears.
Yep.
Yeah, there's always next year.
He looks fine. Yeah, he looks good.
He's got some stuff in the tank still.
He's huge. I mean, again, he's a big guy, but I like I like when he doesn't even like line up in a stance. He plays a lot of standing up D end, which I think is from somebody that like was drilled in their head that you can't stand up on D. Like just from an odd football standpoint, that's obviously like a really big thing. But yeah, I mean if the Lions don't get pressure, their all man defense doesn't even work anymore. And so Big Z's really got to come out and show out. And that's why the Lions have been able to hide a lot. Is the ability to get pressure, and obviously that has changed a lot. I think I just counted we have 19 guys on IR, which is just pretty crazy.
Are you serious? 19?
Yeah, 18 or 19. Wow. And when you think about that of a 53-man roster, that's
a lot of guys.
That's a lot of guys. So
do you guys honestly have reservations like this could sidetrack our Super Bowl hopes the way this thing is falling?
Even if they lose, no.
No.
I don't think the game. The way the injuries are mounting for this.
Oh, well.
Oh, yeah.
This is what I tell the Cub. The only guy we can't lose is Jared Goff. If he gets hurt, forget it. Forfeit the rest. Everybody go play golf. It's over. So
yeah,
I think soul. If they lose him, it would really, really, really hurt them.
Everybody go play golf. Is that what you said?
Golf. Not golf.
I think to be really honest with this answer, because I'm always honest, and the thought just slipped in my mind.
Well, thank you for your input.
Yeah, thanks.
Last appearance here on the Packer Universe podcast.
Oh man, you guys keep talking. I'll think about it here in a second.
All right,
well, do we know the spread? Do we want to talk about the over under? Speaking, we know Phil, you like the over under.
Sorry, I got it.
Quick.
I think there's been multiple times this year that my dad and I have talked, maybe during the show or after the show, about that was the way the Lions lost. That would have been the way the Lions would have, like Bears last week. Prime example. That is the way the Detroit Lions would lose games, especially in my lifetime. I just keep saying to him, like, I'm trying to enjoy it because this is amazing. This has got to be. I don't want to speak for him, but it's probably the best Lions team he's ever seen in his life, in terms of just like, just destroying teams, pumping teams. Yeah. But again, I just keep saying to myself, at what point do we become the Lions again? And that's something that hopefully doesn't become a thing. But there's a possibility they might not win another game this season. Maybe one more. They have a gauntlet down.
But up here, Tay, right? We're kind of used to it. It's just kind of a thing, We just win a lot. We just win a lot. We just win a lot, guys. I'm sorry.
It happens all the time. Look at the record book.
Well, let's move into the final segment, guys. Here, some predictions. And the last time, excuse me, we lost a game this season was to you guys 5 weeks ago. Yep. And man, I hope that's not the case. I was the only homer last time when we were on. I picked. Well, you guys were the homers against the Lions, but I was the only homer for the Packers, and I'm going to stick with that. I think you're right, Dave, that this is going to be a high-scoring game. I'm going to go 38-35 Packers win with the field goal, for sure. Yep. So, yeah, What do you guys think?
Oh, man. Good teams win, great teams cover. It's going to be an interesting one. I think it's a 3.5 point spread.
3.5, yeah.
3.5.
Come down from 5.5. By the way,
yeah. Really? Mm-hmm. Huh. Maybe it'll be 23.5. I think, man. I'm not going to pick against the Lions. I despise the Packers. One of my friends from high school still rubs it into my face about the Packers and stuff, and so. I would like to think today's final score for Thursday will be 41-29 Lions.
Nice.
I like the Packers.
Thank you.
I've always liked the Packers. Huge Vince Lombardi fan. I've just always accepted.
Bill's eye rolling.
Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. But hey, go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. This is what. Let me think. I'm gonna go 35-13 Lions.
35-13.
Tay almost choked. What? You okay? Okay. What?
All right, I see how it's going to be.
Why not? What the hell? Who cares?
Yeah.
35-13.
Well, Phil, you
right.
need to be a little bit more like your father before you. A little respect on the Vince Lombardi administration.
Oh, no
And,
problem with that. No
love
problem
Vince.
with that. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Hey, big. Listen,
it's-
we don't have football with him, right? So without him, so hey,
Coach,
very
couldn't
thankful.
coach today, but
Yeah.
Well, 34-24 pack. They win. It gets a little closer than I'd like it to at the end, but the Lions get beat. The 10-win streak is over, and the Packers are ready.
Awesome.
They're healthy. The Packers are so much healthier than the Lions. Listen, they've held two rushing teams that can run the football well. Obviously, McCaffrey is now out for the season. Achane, but under 50 yards the last 2 weeks, guys. This defense is a lot more physical. They're tackling a lot better. They're playing a lot better football. They're starting to gel with Hafley's defense late in the season. Jordan's finally healthy. I think the Lions take one on the chin here, and the Packers win pretty convincingly.
Okay,
There we go.
it is. Man,
Fair enough.
I just sense this confidence from Ren. It's just going to be a beatdown. Okay, there you go. That's all right. Hey, you got to have confidence.
I picked the Lions last time, guys. I wasn't.
Yeah,
wasn't
well,
wrong.
he's honest. He's honest. I appreciate that. Another reason I like the Packers. Honest people.
Either way it goes, let's promise each other we'll send each other bad DMs on Twitter.
Absolutely. Crappy
laughing,
texts on the way.
Gifts, anything.
Yep.
So just get them ready.
Sure. Okay. We'll do it.
I just can't wait for that first just strong arm bar from Tucker Kraft on our guy Kirby just going down the field. It's going to be a thing of beauty, guys.
Okay, we'll see. Wow, man.
Yeah,
Red's fired up, man. Okay.
This will be a fun one. Hey, regardless, let me be the first to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving 2025.
You want to be the first
And also, I think regardless, both of these teams will be making the playoffs and possibly could see each other again down the line. So regardless of how this comes, I think this is another fun opportunity for us to go out there and have the beautiful game of football played, especially on Thursday. This is a really fun way to start the week out. So enjoy it. And watch it on Twitch versus Prime. It's faster. So just so you guys know, for you, as somebody that watches a lot of the Thursday night games, my friends all watch it on Prime and I watch it on Twitch, and they're like, "What? How do you
know?
Yeah, how did you know?" So just so you guys know, that's
here.
Fun tip. So there's that.
That's what I think with Tay. The Packers radio network is way faster than the broadcast, and a lot of times early in the year, I'm out doing stuff in the yard. I love the radio call. It's so homery here in Green Bay.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
You have to love it. But I love your comment there, Phil. He turned 41 yesterday. So why wouldn't you be romantic about football?
Yeah. How could you not?
How could you not?
How could you not?
That'd be one number 8 who is doing some great things out in New York.
That is true. That is true. I saw that he has a documentary coming out in a few weeks.
Yeah.
A 3-part Netflix special, correct?
Yeah.
If I no, it's called it's got a really weird name, right?
No.
I
have
don't know what
not
it's
heard of
called,
said
but it's
thing.
like
hold on.
I think it's
Peyote, I think is what it's called.
I think it's focused on his recovery from his Achilles.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's like some of the clips I've saw. It's called Enigma. The trailer just came out. The trailer just came out an hour ago, I believe.
Oh,
really?
Cutting news there, right?
Breaking news.
Yeah, it's December 17th, and like the video starts with him laying on the bed, and she's doing Reiki healing on him. So I live between two worlds, existent and what does this say? Oh my god. I believe I live between two worlds of the. Okay, I don't. Like I said, I think it's an ayahuasca positive vibes. So
that was a cliffhanger, Phil. Thank you.
Sorry, yeah.
I miss that stuff so much, guys. Man, I miss it so much.
A guy whose family hates him and he hates him back. So,
I thought Brett Favre was insufferable at the end of his career.
Oh, he was.
He was. But Aaron Rodgers is way more insufferable.
Oh, it's bad.
He's way worse than Brett Favre.
Hey, I don't mean
this now. He's way worse.
Oh, it's incredible. It's incredible. Him doing, and literally, you guys just broke news to me. him actually doing a 3-part series, like Aaron Rodgers bringing
So
more attention
arrogant.
to himself.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm just so shocked by this development.
He's an arrogant.
Well, whatever.
Well,
He is who we thought he was.
That's right.
Exactly right.
And I think he just went to the Jets so he could get back at Johnson & Johnson for the vaccine.
Yeah.
So, but then there's that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, he just wants to play with the chip on his shoulder. He should have got the vaccination. That's all. So, anyways,
Okay.
Well,
He was
with-
immunized, Phil.
Yeah, he was-
immunized.
bird immunity. So,
Well, with Favre and Rodgers, I mean, we loved them when they played here.
Sure.
But now we reserve the right to hate them now after they left. So
I don't
we
hate them.
do.
They brought me a lot of joy. I do not hate them, but they did become a little insufferable in their last few years here. That I will say. I applaud them and love them for great years of Green Bay Packer football and a lot of great things they did. But yeah, I got a little tractor talk, and then the Aaron Rodgers hate tour the last couple of years. Who can I burn under the bus? Got a little.
Yeah, Brett Favre wasn't that bad. He just didn't know when to go, kind of.
he went full New York Rodgers and is just eating it up as being a yuppie of like a TV personality on the Pat McAfee show. So,
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know. Your team's
Well, boys.
got like 2 or 3 wins, and you're doing bits on TV shows. Like, it's a bad look. Sorry, I think we can both agree that we both hate Aaron Rodgers. You loved him when he played for him. I hated him, and now we can both all hate him. So,
There's a little
definitely
dislike,
somebody.
but I will always be appreciative because there's.
Sure.
Guess
Yeah.
what? There's this thing. It's called a Super Bowl trophy. I don't think you know what it is, but we got one of those from that man. So
I
so
know
we
what an
will
NFL
always-
championship is, though. So,
Yeah. 1935. Not that long ago.
All right, boys. Well, with that, I think we'll get out of here. I think it goes for me to say thank you again for joining us. We love doing this. We love the smack talk. We love the fun talk, and all the info. Great takes on the Lions, and kind of throwing it back to the Packers. I love that.
Sure.
So appreciate it very much. You guys out there that are Lions fans can go check them out. The Lion and the Lion and the Cub podcast, or the Experience, like I like to say. They love to stream their own Lions games. So go check them out on YouTube. You guys are great. Your content's awesome. So
Thank you.
thanks once again
Great,
for
man.
joining
You're
us.
too
We
kind.
really appreciate it.
You're too kind.
Yeah, thanks.
Anytime.
Obviously, guys, I jest a lot, but really appreciate the
Oh, no,
candor
don't try
and
now,
you guys
buddy.
doing this.
oh yeah, Ren,
I
don't
got
backpedal
Stamp.
now. Stand on business, Ren.
Man,
No, we
late
really
now,
do
buddy.
appreciate it, guys. It's good to talk a little
Absolutely.
shit with you guys and have a good
You guys
time.
are the best.
It means a lot. Thanks for being able to
thank
do
you
that
guys.
with us.
Seriously, and big shout out to all the Packers listeners or people that come to us. Make sure you check out the guys above us right now, and maybe we'll meet again here in a couple of weeks. Who knows?
I
Yeah.
certainly hope so. That'd be great.
That'd be
Look forward to
fun.
it.
So, all right, guys, you have a great night, and go subscribe, like, comment, subscribe for the boys above us. So,
Yeah.
Everybody
Patreon.
do the same for
They've
the
got a
boys below.
Patreon. Hook them up. Come on. Subscribe. Everything.
All right, take care, guys.
yep,
Okay,
later.
Thanks so much.
Bye.